Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Edward Xu, the Chief Strategy Officer of Ehang. So I'm very happy today to share with you our view on the urban air mobility. And so first of all, I would just like to start by going from the concept. So the next slide, please. Basically, UAM as a new concept has caught attention by various entities in recent years, including especially the government, companies, research institutes, and other organizations. The next slide, please. Yes. So here, let me just walk through a brief history of UAM development since 2016. Ehang, as a leading UAM firm, has unveiled the world's first autonomous air vehicle, or AAV, in 2016, which was called Ehang 1A4. This AAV is designed to carry one passenger to fly around 15 minutes, which is suitable for typical UAM scenarios. What's more important, it is fully autonomous, so that the passenger doesn't need to have any piloting skills at all. Later in that year, Ehang built the world's first UAM command control center, which defined the operational model of urban air mobility through a point-to-point, fully autonomous and centralized platform. In 2019, IATA held a global aviation summit in Montreal with a panel especially for UAM, showing great interest and attention by the world's aviation regulators from the highest level. In the same year, Ehang completed its global IPO through NASDAQ, making the world's first public UAM firm. Soon after that, Ehang 216, a two-seater AAV made by Ehang, completed its maiden flights in 3 Korean locations in 2020. In January of 2021, Civil Aviation Administration of China, or CAAC, has officially accepted Ehang 216 type certification application. Later in that year, we also witnessed the listings of more UAM firms in the world, including Joby, Lilium, and Archer. According to Morgan Stanley's latest research, the global UAM market is expected to grow into a $4 trillion market by 2040. So now we are standing here, the very beginning of a great UAM era. We feel proud that we are leading the curve to change the world. The next slide, please. With increasing enthusiasm by governments and investment institutions, we see the emergence of firms with various designs of aerial vehicles in recent years, including global aviation giants like Boeing and Airbus, as well as startup firms including Ehang, Joby, Volocopter, etc. While many of these designs are still in early stages, it brings great innovative ideas to the whole industry. The next slide, please. So looking at the development of urban air mobility, we think it could be defined roughly in 3 levels. UAM version 1.0. The urban air mobility has been conducted by conventional helicopters within cities, such as New York in US and Rio in Brazil. With human pilots on board, there is a lack of a digital online platform to ensure high accuracy and safety. The next slide. For UAM version 2.0, it should be upgraded with both digital platform and a new version of aerial vehicles, which are lighter and more eco-friendly, with lower emission and noise levels. However, a human pilot is still on board in such version. Next slide. For UAM version 3.0, which is the current model developed by Ehang, we emphasize the key features of full automation with computerized piloting, 5G online platform, point-to-point flight operation, and cluster management skills. From the perspective of safety, efficiency, and economic costs, we believe this should be the future of the industry. Next slide, please. So coming back to the topic, it is important to understand what UAM aims to achieve. It aims to change the world, change our urban life by changing mobility. Traffic problems and air quality issues are broadly complained by city dwellers nowadays. Can we make our urban life better, safer, and cleaner? Yes, we do. The new UAM model gives us a solution. Basically, it offers convenient and safe and fast urban transportation and three-dimensional transportation through the air, eliminate traffic problems, and green energy with zero emission. So in defining the right model of urban air mobility, we think it should possess the following characteristics. First, the 3D transportation to improve efficiency. Two, point-to-point routes with autonomous flights to ensure safety. Three, vertical takeoff and landing to improve convenience and flexibility. And fourth, electric power to eliminate carbon emissions. Next slide, please. Moreover, we need to build a whole ecosystem, including a centralized platform with distributed local command control centers to operate multiple AAVs in real time. The next slide, please. So basically, we define the key elements of UAM ecosystem as the following. One, autonomous aerial vehicles, or AAVs. Two, command and control platform. And three, regulatory bodies. And fourth, infrastructure. And fifth, ATM and UTM synchronization. So next, I'm going to elaborate further on each element. Next slide, please. For AAVs to be suitable for urban air mobility, it needs to be safe and reliable, autonomous and intelligent, can be controlled in clusters or groups, real-time network connected, and eco-friendly. The next slide. Not only do we need small, limbo, short-range AAVs to travel within cities, but we also need larger-size AAVs with a longer range to travel between city clusters, such as the Bay Areas. We believe the longer-range AAVs can be connected with the short-range AAVs seamlessly to complement our existing transportation systems. So as you can see, this is a picture of VT-30, which is an eVTOL that are designed to connect with Ehang 216, the short-range AAVs. The next slide, please. For future commercial operations, we emphasize the convenience, safety, and the speed of power charging. Especially, we highlight the Smart Battery Management System, or BMS, to ensure safe and efficient use of energy. Next slide, please. For autonomous flight control, we emphasize the use of point-to-point route planning with the help of AI technologies to ensure the high accuracy of the flight, including takeoff, cruising, and landing. Relative to human pilots, we believe AAVs with auto-piloting functions can prove to be safer and more accurate. Next slide, please. For our centralized command control platform, the key functions are route setting and planning, AAV dispatching and monitoring, pre-warning, cluster management control, and contingency risk management. So here is a picture of Ehang's command control platform built in Guangzhou in China. So through this platform, we are able to control thousands of AAVs simultaneously in real time. Next slide, please. From the government and the regulatory perspectives, it requires a compilation of laws and rules to foster the healthy development of UAM industry. Just like the invention of cars over 100 years ago, nobody had any sense of traffic laws at all. Since technology and innovations are always ahead of regulations, we expect the issuance of standards by relevant government bodies. It is great to see the new progress made by various government entities in recent years, including China, Korea, US, and Europe. We believe these progresses will lead to the prosperity of UAM industry in the next decades. The next slide, please. So specifically, I'd like to share with you the Ehang's progress in airworthiness certification since the beginning of 2020. As you can see, we did many tests of manned tests, and after that, we are entering into the autonomous certification process. Especially, we want to highlight the certification of fully autonomous aerial vehicle is the world's first of its kind since the start of aviation industry, which could set a new milestone for the world aviation industry in future. Next slide, please. Meanwhile, we have been also working closely with various regulatory bodies in the world to obtain flight permits, including US, Austria, Canada, Korea, Japan, and Indonesia, etc. The next slide, please. So far, Ehang's global footprints cover 10 countries and over 40 cities, thanks to the support and acceptance by local regulators and government bodies. The next slide, please. As we highlighted earlier, infrastructure constitutes a key element to UAM ecosystem. We envision the emergence of more accessible landing pads, charging centers, AAV terminals, and upgraded 5G and 6G network among the cities in the future to facilitate the proper operation of UAM services. The next slide, please. And finally, we highlight the importance of the synchronization of ATM and UTM, especially with a focus on low-altitude aerospace management. Similar to IATA's Aviation certification, we believe the low-altitude aerospace below 300 meters need to be separated carefully for the use of AAVs in the future. While this level has minimum effect on existing aerospace for both civil and general aviation, UAM services require much higher frequencies and densities of AAV flights within the cities, which need to be managed in separations. This further supports our view that point-to-point autonomous flight operations are necessary to ensure the high accuracy and safety. The next slide, please. And finally, I'd like to share with you some use cases in real life by Ehang's AAVs. First, this, as you can see, this is a passenger transportation. We did over 20,000 manned flight tests in all over the world, which proved to be highly reliable and safe. We made our maiden flight in 3 Korean locations, which was well accepted by the local people. And next slide, please. And here is a picture of the emergency rescue scenario use case we made in Korea as well. So during the existing COVID-19 outbreak in China, we sent our Ehang 216 AV for the rescue and also the transportation of medical supplies and patients as well. And also we have this Ehang 216 firefighting version, which is designed for high-rise building firefighting, can be put into use for this firefighting emergency as well. And next slide, please. Right now, we see the very popular use of the aerial sightseeing because of this autonomous limbo flight. Passengers can enjoy the scenery from a different angle in the sky, which is highly popular in many Chinese cities nowadays. And the next slide, please. Especially, we launched a 100 route initiative in 2021 in China. We established AAV routes in China's Hong Kong, Macau, Canton, Greater Bay Area to test the operational model for UAM. So far, we have made good progress under the guidance by CAEC. And in the future, we look forward to sharing with you the results of our plan implementation. And finally, to conclude my presentation, I'd like to share with you a video of our AAV flight in recent years. I believe the UAM future now. Please play the video. Thank you. Okay, thank you.